So I'm going to jump right on into it today. So to start off, I love Apple products. Apple products, I've been using Apple for about 15 years now. I mean, I go back to the clamshell laptop that they had, OS 9. Again, one of those things that I love Apple products. But recently it seems like every other day I have some type of an issue. So about a week ago, I wake up in the morning, open up my laptop, log in, check some emails, go to make myself some coffee. I come back and I see this on the screen. This is like a crack or the display or something wonky happened to it. So of course I called in to Apple, told them what was going on. Their answer was, it's still on warranty, bring it in, but we're gonna have to keep it a week. Next, this morning I wake up, there must be something about mornings, I don't know, but I wake up, my alarm's going off on my phone, I roll over, grab it off the nightstand, I go to mute it, and guess what? No touch. No touch. No touch. Now, let's go back. This is a SE. Now, about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, I did have an iPhone 6 Plus. Great phone. Never had any issues until the screen stopped working. Took it in, they looked at it, they replaced the screen, just kept on having issues, and in between that time, it lapsed out of warranty. So guess what? That meant I had to buy a whole new phone. Because I'm one of those people that I don't like being tied to contracts with cell phone carriers, so I buy my phones outright. That means if I want to move to AT&T or to Verizon or whoever I want to go with, if I get an open phone, it's my phone. But the downside about that is it's your phone because you paid for it. So I said to myself, you know what? Don't want to buy another $700 phone. I'll go ahead and downsize to this because it's the same iOS, same great applications. I just need to sync it up and keep on stepping. But like I said, here I am again, same issue. Now, people might be looking and commenting, no, it's happened before. I've done everything that you're supposed to do, follow it. I've did the forced restart. I've then turned around and I reset it, factory defaults. And guess what? Just not working. So now I'm stuck. So this and this. And now I'm a little bit scared because I have one of these. And all of a sudden, about 2 days ago, it rebooted itself. So now I'm kind of waiting for something to happen to the Apple Watch. So again, most of my devices, I get Apple Care, so I can go in and get it replaced. I only live about 15 miles from the closest Apple store. And I also know that there's an authorized reseller that's about 8 miles away. So it's not like some horror stories. I don't have to ride, 2 hours to get to a store. But the problem is I have a very hectic day. I do a lot of things a day, and I don't want to lose an hour to 2 hours of my day getting Apple products fixed. So that's where the issue is. But the one bright side to it, it gave me something to vlog about today. So thank the Apple gods. You're going to follow me around. So like I said, we can fix this and this, possibly this, so I can keep doing this. Let's go.
Mother.
Actually, at the bank or at the ATM. Good day today. Actually putting money in, not taking money out. Let's get it. Part of my getting my iPhone fixes, I do have a backup phone, which I suggest everyone does have a backup phone, but I haven't used it in such a long time. It has different SIM size. So now, before I get to my appointment with my phone, I'm down and out when it comes to my cell phone. So now I need to find a SIM card kit that will allow me to use my current iPhone micro SIM to the standard SIM size to move to my backup phone. That was a pretty unsuccessful trip. I stopped at Walmart, I stopped at another cell phone store before this, and no one seemed to have a SIM card adapter. So what that means is I'm gonna have to go to probably another 1 or 2 or maybe 3 or 4 stores and find out who has an adapter. Alright, now I have my backup phone that's actually working. Here's a quick tip for anybody who needs to have a tip. Cricket Wireless, they carry SIM card adapters, so they charge you $5 for it. They don't care which carrier you have, you can just buy the device itself. So for $5 I was actually able to get the adapter. They keep them on hand because of all the different phones that they carry. So like I said, just a good tip of the day. So I have to drop off my laptop, like I said before. It's really not in frame, but normally what I do is when laptops go out, it's just human curiosity. Now, you're not going to stop anybody if they really want to get your data if you hand over your laptop. Unless you do a low-level format, you can still hook it up and do things. But what I like to do is I take the ease of use to make it pretty much, somebody says this is kind of boring. So as you see, I'm kind of scatterbrained with all this stuff. And hopefully this is useful to someone. But this is what I'm doing for the day, so I'm sharing it. So I keep a lot of stuff on my desktop, things that might be sensitive, may not be sensitive, and I don't want to rearrange all this. So one of the quick things, the first thing I do is I create a new folder. With that new folder that I create, which it says right here, I'll move it over here. It says, and it's an untitled folder. What I do is I pick a name that's very abstract and something that somebody says that's not cool. Names like music, pics, ebooks, that's like putting a do not enter sign on the door. If you want somebody to, go to the, you're at the airport, most of the signs of the access areas that they really don't want to get you to get into won't be labeled, because we know that most people like going against the grain. So I pick some type of title, and I'm trying to get this to focus. A title that's not so interesting. So something like preschool enrollment. So that's what I'm going to name this folder. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything on my desktop and I'm going to drop it there. And I'm going to take all this and I'm going to drop it there. Now you can do one or two things. You can actually move it to another folder, or you can leave it here. I'm just going to leave it there just because, you know what, I'm just being a little bit lazy. But again, just showing some tips of the tricks that I do. So that's step one. The next thing that I do is anything that has basically cached enrollment, that if somebody was to open up your laptop as your user, because, and they can start seeing data, I usually log out of that. Again, unless you do a complete, such as for Dropbox or for Evernote, which is one of the things that I use. If you don't remove the program and delete it, those files are still local. But again, what I want to avoid is if somebody's working on my laptop and they say, oh, Evernote, because I'm already logged in, all the notes that I have are accessible. And some of this stuff, again, I'm not talking about social security numbers, but old email, old phone numbers, old bank accounts that, I might want to reference are all in here. So what I do is, to make it easy, you sign out of those accounts. So now, if somebody has this laptop and they're trying to replace and want to look at something and they click on it, again, this is just to take out the curiosity level. You click on Evernote, nothing. I have Dropbox here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to quit out of Dropbox. So, and again, this isn't a complete comprehensive. I'm just showing tips and tricks. So I'm now logged out of Dropbox. Again, like I said before, because anybody who understands Dropbox knows that your files are still cached, which if I wanted to, I could delete these, and I might do that, but it'll take too long in the video. And then next time I sync up, then I'll get all those files back. And Spotify, which I don't have on there, but Spotify is another one of those apps that if you have Spotify, your music, again, not sensitive, you're not going to run into any issues with Spotify per se, but when it tunes up and if somebody opens it up, you might start getting messages, oh, your Spotify app is running from an unknown IP address, because you never know where they're going to send this laptop. But yeah, again, these are some things. Rename some of your files, log out of any other your apps, and if there's anything that's sensitive, like in your photos or your pictures, that again, like I said, you may not want the world to have access to. You might want to go through those, or like I said, if you're backing up your stuff in iCloud, you can actually delete that information, and then when you get your laptop back, sync it up. If you're completely paranoid, the best thing to do if you're at all paranoid or you have a lot of sensitive data, get yourself an external drive. I have one of these Western Digital My Passports. Do a quick backup, and then just basically delete your user account and give it to them scratch, basically a factory reset. One of the first things you should do is a backup anyway, because if something happens in shipping, it gets dropped, all your files are gone anyway. So you should start off with a backup. That's a little bit of tips and tricks on what you need to do if you decide to hand over your life, which in my case is my life and my laptop, to someone else. Finally made it over here to Simple Mac, dropping off of my computer for the day. As I talked about earlier today, it's kind of dark because I had a lot of stuff to do, but finally made it. We're gonna see what the people say about my MacBook Air, which I already know, and also about my phone. Let's see. As I complain about more Apple products, this is next on the list. I don't know why, but for some reason, I think I need iPad Pro, iPad on steroids.